interwebs. Tis I, Harley Quinn, and this is F3G2 coming at you from the back, the ever-dwindling back of what is Famous Faces and Funnies and Get Your Fun On before it moves and just becomes an empty store and we film for you from somewhere else in new Famous Faces and Get Your Fun On. Alright, the irony is I didn't read Harley Quinn Power Girl #1, so I don't know what to tell you. Doomed #1, I read, and it's
Doomed?
Yeah, it's a kid. His name is something like Riley. I don't remember. Riser, I think. I don't know if that's a first name or last name. Comics these days aren't great at introducing character names. They just kind of look, stuff's happening, and
oh, here's a name.
yeah, they throw names out at who the fuck is this guy? I read, 15 pages before I found out what this kid's name is. But whatever. It was decent. It was Spider-Man as a monster story, is what it was. It's the kid lives with his aunt, his elderly aunt. His elderly aunt even has a dog that looks a lot like Ms. Lyons from the old Spider-Man cartoon. Her name is Wee Wee because I don't know.
So it was Man Spider, but he's turning into Doomsday instead of
Well,
Giant
it's important to
Spider.
know that it's Scott Lobdell, who is clearly quickly trying to burn away the love that he had established from me
Oh, yes.
with his epic 2-issue Blue Beetle that was so good. And then he wrote this. It's like, look, mostly because it's a new character. Although I suppose you could say that it's, the new 52, the new DCU equivalent of Doomsday. But basically it's a kid who accidentally gets the Doomsday virus and becomes... I'm not thrilled with this design. I think it's a little lazy and nondescript.
Kind of looks like a deep-fried parasite.
Yeah, but it was okay. Check it out, see what you think. I'm gonna take this off because I'm going cross-eyed. I was gonna wear it for the whole show, but whatever. Yeah. Black Canary #1 was actually good. I just have I'm caught up in the concept though. The book is really good. I mean, we already know that Brendan Fletcher is it Fletcher's first name? Yeah, we already know Brendan Fletcher can write. And Andy Wu's art, beautiful. Lee Loridge's colors, very muted kind of watercolor wash look.
But it really works for the art style.
Yeah, I mean it works with this. It's really like a Vertigo coloring technique, is what it made me think of. It threw me. The new Batgirl threw me with. I don't care about the costume change. I don't care about the change of locale.
Severe tonal
but
change?
Just the fact that she kind of went from, I got out of my wheelchair and I'm badass and I'm Batgirl, to, she went from like a Batgirl in her mid-20s to like 18, 19-year-old Batgirl. And that threw me. The stories were good, but it threw me. This, same thing. The story's really good. But I don't see, especially New 52, I've been on, Special Ops Team 7 assassin crews, and now I'm a rock star. She's kind of like, it's like Black Canary decided to reinvent herself after reading the original Dazzler comics while listening to Lady Gaga.
Dear God.
That's basically. But somehow, don't let that fool you. It's good. It's just that jarring. I don't know what that says about me, really, because that's my description. That's my analogy for this. And yet I liked it. So
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
That's the description you come up with.
Archie vs. Predator. Let's have a moment of silence for Jughead.
Why?
Because Jughead lost his Jughead. and it got put in a vending machine. And Milton.
Ooh. Bad way to go.
It's just great and weird because it's drawn in the classic Archie look, but they all like get killed.
Yeah, full of the ultraviolence.
So it's
like they got Afterlife in my art.
Superman, Wonder Woman.
True.
All right, I'm good with his identities exposed. I want his powers back, and I want him to not be a dick. Martian Manhunter #1 was really good, which I didn't expect. Because Martian Manhunter tends to not work, at least for me, or I guess for the real world, because his books always get canceled. But he tends to not work in his own series as well as he does in groups. And they've changed him enough in the current continuity that he doesn't even work as well in the groups because he's not the same guy. But there's like a horror sci-fi slant going on here that really works with this new Martian Manhunter.
Damn,
And we know he's supposed to die in one of the issues, like issue 3 or 4. He's supposed to die, and now we know why and what's building to that. And this was really good. Who wrote this? Because I'm not good at remembering to shout out names, but this needs some acknowledgement. Come on, where do you put the page with the things? Oh, Modern Comics, why do you fucking do this to me? Okay. Rob Williams wrote this. Eddie Barrows on art. Eddie Barrows is Eddie Barrows. Eddie Barrows' art is always gorgeous. Rob Williams kicks ass on this. Iber Ferreira on inks, and I was doing so good. Gabe El Tabe is the colorist, and Tom Napolitano on letters. This was really good. Check this out. There's enough heart that if you're an old school Martian Manhunter fan, or any of his incarnations Martian Manhunter fan, there's enough of him in there for you to relate. Plus, it's this really cool. This would have run nice with the stuff that they were doing with like Animal Man and Swamp Thing, where it was like dark superhero horror good stuff, and this is right up there with those. Prez, I almost wasn't gonna read because I didn't care about the original Prez comics. I mean, his name was Prez Ricard, I think. I want to say Prez Ricard was the original Prez. A comic that some people remember. Neil Gaiman remembers it. He did it in The Sandman. It is a superhero-less dystopian. It's like get rid of all the superheroes from the Batman Beyond world, push it a bit further, knock it towards Vertigo, make like deep conservative, like the party that runs the world now makes today's Tea Party look like today's liberals. But it's really it's political satire, and while it does seem to be stabbed more at the right wing, which I'm okay with, stab away. Stab at them. I stab at thee. I'm a registered other that leans to the left. It was good. I remembered more concepts. Like I'll confess that I remember the Smiley guy more from the Neil Gaiman story than I do from the original Prez, which I did read because we had them in the basement at Collector's Comics. And I was like, the fuck is this? I also read Brother Power the Geek. I'd love to see a Brother Power the Geek book. Why have they not done that? I want Brother Power the Geek, New 52, Brother Power the Geek. Make it so. There's your diaper. Squadron Sinister, #1. I didn't like. Not because it wasn't good, but because I've loved what they've done with Hyperion in Avengers. And I know these guys are supposed to stick on to some degree in the new post-Secret Wars, whatever.
Marvel
But
now.
they've made them all mostly bad guys. Some of them may be more traitorous than others, which would, I guess, if you're betraying the bad guys, that makes you a good guy by default, or maybe just a different level of bad guy. But what I really didn't like is these original evil versions of Squadron Supreme just go through and murder at an alarmingly easy rate the super kick-ass redo versions of Squadron Supreme from the Hyperion book, and then eventually they had Squadron Supreme. Well, I think they just called it Squadron or Supreme. I don't remember. But these guys were freaking awesome. There's a poster of them that stares creepily at us when we go to the bathroom here. And they shouldn't have been killed that easy by. This was them reinvented to be made as actual separate characters, and instead they were killed by the evil Justice League versions of themselves. I'm like, no. That bothered me. I am petty.
You are.
Old Kill Strike was funny, especially the beginning, which turns out to be a dream where he goes home and he can't find his wife. And she's like, I'm in here. And because this is the love letter to everything that was so wrong about 90s comics. So where's his wife? I'm in here. She's in the fridge.
Oh.
And claiming that, somebody came by and killed her. But then she's like, not to mention the baby. The baby. Yeah, well, refrigerators are totally wife size, so you can imagine what he put in the freezer. So apparently the baby's in the freezer, and that's when he wakes up. Along the lines, they kidnap the creator of Killstrike. Killstrike actually refers to him as God because he created Killstrike. So to him, he is God. This book is so funny and so wrong, but it knows it's wrong, whereas 90s comics really thought they were doing something good and innovative. This one at least goes in going, this shit's wrong. Speaking of wrong, Secret Six. The weird sex on the couch issue, or as my wife likes to call weird sex on the couch, Secret 6 Minutes.
Oh, Lord.
Because, anyway, the cover is censored. We find out some things. A name is thrown out. What? One of our characters may be someone we know. We also get the identity of, there's a lot that happens. Catman gets a dog, and he doesn't even like dogs. They're in like the suburbs of Gotham, which Gail Simone writes like a cross between like a Frank Miller Batman and the Tom Hanks movie The Burbs. It's just that kind of, or almost like the suburbs from where is it? Where all like the houses of the like Edward Scissorhands, where like they all, and the cars all pull out. It's that, and of course they're like supervillains, Gotham supervillains now in the suburbs. This is far too. This is weird for us, but yeah. One of our characters, based on the name thrown out, may be a familiar face we haven't really seen New 52 wise, although tragically it would appear that his wife is still dead. And I'm so much more intrigued by this than I ever thought. Gail Simone's been all over Facebook the past 2 days praising Dan DiDio for encouraging and helping get this back on track. and DC for letting her do this kind of stuff, and I'm on board. Thank you, DC. Thank you, Didio. Thank you, Gail, because this is awesome on so many disturbing levels. Robin, son of Batman. Batman has gone. Is he dead? We don't know. Robin is out, and it turns out Robin had a thing called the Year of Blood, that he's really determined to make up for all the wrong things he did before he was given to, unceremoniously dropped on Wayne Manor's doorstep with his mom going, "Look, I raised him as an assassin so far. Now it's your turn. Go." He's bought into the whole honor, justice, heroism thing, and it wants to make up for all the wrong that he's done. Including, he has Goliath, this huge... He's sort of a man-bat, but not really, and everyone keeps calling him a man-bat, and he freaks out if you call him a man-bat and tends to, like, destroy walls or whatever. There's the return of Nobody, not the one that was killed, not even his son. This is his daughter. Becomes a new Nobody who knows that Damien killed Daddy. That's a problem. Speaking of weird parental issues, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Talia's back, though she doesn't know it. Dun dun dun.
Does he still have the superpowers? Or is he back to normal? No.
No, he doesn't have any superpowers anymore.
Back
That's
to
done.
normal?
That's over.
No, I haven't read anything in forever.
Well, you sit there. No, you walk away a lot when I review. Now, this is what
I
happens.
haven't seen you review a Robin in forever.
We did Batman and Robin. This guy. Kaiju Max number 3. Read this book. This is the greatest book. This is Oz meets Rubber Monsters from Japan. That's what it is. It's so good. So freaking good.
Oh my god, it's a big freak out.
You have a pacifist mecha. It's called Mechanon. They call him. Mechazon, and then he's all pacifist and has all the other mechas buying into this. Whatever. And he's got, every time that you see through his eyes, the weapon systems are all there, but he believes in the cloud. It's like heaven for artificial intelligence. And has embraced the way pacifism. But one of the new arrivals on the island is actually Zon, the monster that he is a mecha of.
Oh, Lord.
And all the stuff kicks in, and weapons keep popping out on their own, and he's like, stop. But Zon is a douche and just walks up and goes, first off, their term for when they're going to talk at somebody, and something, they don't say, like, there's somebody I got to shout at, they say I got to roar. So, hang on, I got to roar at somebody first. He's like, I ain't about fighting. It's been all these years. I just want to tell you something quick. Now that we're neighbors and all, I just wanted to remind you that I really crushed the crap out of your city, and Nilla slapped you right in the face with that maglev, and just wondering if you remember that. And the robot's like, and he's like, you don't have to say nothing about it. Ain't that right? All right. And then he like walks up, but meanwhile you see all the weapon systems kicking in, and he's like, yes, that's right. And he's like, yeah, that's right, Nilla. Roll on home. It's just so funny, and they like find like the equivalent of like a kaiju math lab on this other island, and they have to stop the kaiju from that. It's just beyond awesome. It's beyond awesome, and Ape Whale, right? Is it Ape Whale or Gorilla Whale? I think it's just Ape Whale. Yeah, Ape Whale, which is this giant ape whale, has this son that's like defective. He's got some problems. And eventually Ape Whale just yelling, "You are not you're an embarrassment, go." So little Ape Whale Jr. goes running off into the woods crying. And he sees this little Japanese boy in a little hat And the little old school shorts, like in the old Japanese movie.
Oh, God.
Just like the one that Minya, Baby Godzilla, saw. And he's like, how can you be here? And the kid's like, me? I dreamed my way into this place. Just like in this. And then the kid's gone. Later, see the, baby Ape Whale doesn't know if he saw him or not. But there's a picture of him at the end in regards to upcoming stuff. So, to be continued in the next issue of Kaiju Max, and there he is hiding under a bush. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but this is the greatest thing, and you all need to read this. Thor is number 1 that I ordered, and was like, why did I order that? And then I remembered. Chris Sprouse artwork. And as always, Chris Sprouse artwork is gorgeous. However, some of Carl Story's inks kind of overpower. I love Chris Sprouse artwork. And some of Carl Story's inks, I love Carl Story, but some of his inks overpower a bit, but really, Marte Gracia, the colorist, does that modern, with all the shading and, I'll replace certain line art with different colored lines instead of whatever, and make the pictures part of, and it really overpowers. Some of it just doesn't even, and I bought this specifically for Chris Sprouse, and it's like not getting the full Chris Sprouse. So story-wise was great. It's Law and Order with Thors. Jason Aaron is doing great. It's really what it is, a murder mystery. The best part is the Thors that are on the, there's several best parts. It's all the little things, because Jason Aaron is just, that's what he does. The Thors, one of the Thor cops is old, like magic armor looking Thor that they call Rune Thor, is like, he's racist, he's anti-mutie, and he keeps fighting with Storm. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot you're a mutant. Maybe we should just put tattoo a big M on your face so I can remember. And, the lead detective is the Thor from the Ultimate Universe that everybody calls Ultimate Thor. But that's like his code name. Like, you're the one they call Ultimate Thor, but they don't remember the different worlds. So, he's got this rep as he's this badass. Like, they talk about how he arrested 15 Hulks one time, but his partner, Beta Ray Thor, not Beta Ray Bill because they're all Thors. Beta Ray Bill's like, I arrested more Hulks than you that night, and one of yours was a gray. He's like, and he's like, look, can I help the people add to this story every time? He's like, I'm Ultimate Thor. So that was great. But even better, there's a cop bar. So it's a Thor bar that all the Thors go to. But getting kicked out while they're saying, hey, this is a Thor-only bar, is original Marvel 616 Thor with his metal arm and his axe. And they're like, look, you've been kicked off the force. You're unworthy. And he's like, you guys are all slaves. You're not cops. You're slaves. Unworthiness is freedom. And he's like drunk and bitter, and he's not a cop anymore because he's unworthy. He's been stripped of he's basically, he got bounced from the force. That's brilliant. This is Thor in Order, is what it is. I'm gonna buy the damn trade. There's a tragedy within there. They're hunting on the case of a serial murder, but because all the worlds, all the townships, the kingdoms on Battleworld are from different times and realities. It's a unique serial killer. He's been cutting the heads off of somebody, and they're trying to find out who it is. And spoiler in 3, 2, 1. Everyone he's killing is the same person. He's a serial killer who just kills all the alternate versions of Jane Foster.
Oh.
Loki is a homeless informant in a knit cap that has the pattern of the horns on it. It was brilliant. It was all fantastic. So brilliant. What was it? Fror, whatever the Thor frog is the forensics doctor. He's this little frog wielding a hammer in like the white trench coat, and he's the one doing all the forensic. It's brilliant. It was brilliant.
I have to read this now.
It's the greatest thing. I'm so glad I ordered it.
Oh my God,
Even they overshadowed my Chris Sprouse line work. I love Chris Sprouse. I have a Chris Sprouse Blue Beetle hanging up on my wall. With a Peter David word bubble that says, "What? Me dead? Yeah, that'll last." And it is.
Yep.
Ms. Marvel continues to be awesome and leads up to, by the end of this, her ex-boyfriend continues to outdouche himself, even at the end of the world. She drowns her sorrows in hot dogs and uses hot dog vendors like people stereotypically use bartenders to discuss their problems. But by the end, she meets her all-time hero. She's got this great look at because next issue is a team up with Captain Marvel, and there's Captain Marvel going, "Nice uniform." Still not sure how I feel about the name, because she never asked, "Hey, can I be Ms. Marvel?" But yeah, this book continues to be great. If you're not reading it, there's something wrong with you. Something very wrong with you. JLA. This was $5.99.
Ooh.
I didn't realize that when I paid for it. No wonder my stuff came to so much this week. It's beautiful. And it's a decent story. Unfortunately, with all the events going on, the fact that we just came out of the time traveling convergence, the fact that there's a time loop story where they're discovering, oh wow, there's alternate timelines and times and constantly in flux, so they keep finding dead Supermen from different times, and they're trying to prevent that, but there's more going on as eventually Rao shows up. It's beautiful, and it's a good story. It doesn't have the impact it should because it's coming out of the tail end of but it's totally worth looking into even at the $5.99. Secret Identities. This book is so good. I mean, I love me some J. Faber. Anyway, this is Jay Faber and Brian Joines and Ilias Kyriazis on art. Hopefully I got that somewhat close. All sorts of intrigue as our little insider here wants to take down the team, and it's almost being, he's planting seeds, causing trouble, even though the Brown Recluse doesn't trust any of this shit. This book is so good. So check this out. Sinestro is a douche, but Colin Bunn helps answer the question of, well, if he's going to be writing Green Lanterns Lost, where the Green Lanterns all end up in another dimension, and there's none left on Earth except for Hal, who's not part of the Corps anymore, and blah, 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 blah. This does answer, well, what about Cyranek? As Sinestro knows this is going to happen. Not because he doesn't know how or why, but he knows because of what's-her-face with the Book of Stories. It's like, look, this is the prophecy, this is going to happen. So Lyssa tells him this is going on. So he's prepping for it, and in his own weird way, protecting his daughter while really protecting his own interests. There's some great conversations between Sornik and the rest of the Corrigan refugees, Korrigar's refugees, and she's like, I can't believe he's going back to his old ways. And one of the leaders of the Korrigar people is like, she's like, I feel like I'm the only one who fooled him. She's like, that's where he fooled you. He never changed. He's not going back to his old ways. He's Sinestro. He never changed. So really, really some good stuff. Moon Knight by Colin Bunn. And Magneto by Colin Bunn. That boy's busy. Magneto with the horrible demise of Sugarman, as Magneto needs to up his power to try and fight to save the world, and he's literally burning himself out. Kind of a mess. When villains play heroes, they go all out. Moon Knight, so good. Who thought that those words could ever be said, right? I guess Jared. Mm-hmm. But Moon Knight is fighting like some crazy cult, and he knows what it's like to support the cause of weird, eccentric deities because
Little bit.
that's why he's not dead. Is Khonshu. So this was really really good. A lot of action. It was over so much faster than I thought it would be while I was reading. It was one of those where I was like, oh, that's it. I wanted more. So beautiful.
Is that the last one?
So beautiful. This is the new miniseries, Ghostbusters Get Real, in which they already met the turtles from another dimension, right? And we already had a story where they got trapped in another dimension. Now, a god in the real Ghostbusters universe doesn't want to get caught. He fears capture, and he knows these guys capture like everything. And in the real Ghostbusters universe, they caught gods, ghosts, monsters. They caught everything. So he tries to send them somewhere, but his spell gets messed up, and they disappear. Now he's trying to hunt them down. They're in the world with our ghosts, so it's Ghostbusters meet real Ghostbusters. And they show up, and they go innocently like, oh, Slimer got him. They show up back at their headquarters and don't even realize it's not the same place. And they walk in, and they're like, what's Slimer doing trapped in that, because they've been observing, they just call it the green ghost in the regular Ghostbuster, and it's like angry and constantly wants to get at Venkman, and they just had it in this special container where they could observe it and study it, and these guys let it out, and they're like, whoa, and their Egon's like, that's not Slimer, and then they have to catch, so it's so good. And just all of them interacting with themselves. And you hear the real Ghostbusters character voices, and you hear the movie voices as these people talk. It's just so good. I love IDW's Ghostbusters. It should never, ever end. Hexed, number 11. I loved Hexed. I love Hexed. Read this. This is, at this point, they should just say, look, we got the movie coming out. We should hire Michael Allen Nelson, who created and wrote Hexed, to write a Doctor Strange book for the Marvel Universe, because he's got that shit down. This is all the magical mayhem you're ever gonna need. This book is so good. They lose one of their own in a deserty dimension. They find an object that should be impossible to find. They re-find the golden crown. The witches punish their wayward sister by elevating her to godhood, which makes her ready to fight on Lucifer, our Hexed lead, because she's now the thief, replacing the harlot as the keeper of secrets. It's just magical mess. You need to read this. It is so good. Dr. Fate was good, but I don't know. The art style, I want my Dr. Fate to be more formal and epic. It's a little loose. Even like the costume, he's in a hoodie.
No.
I can't. It was good, don't get me wrong. This may find a whole separate audience. It may just be, a lot of these things, when I'm reviewing books, it's just me. So it just may not be my thing. Maybe this has an audience out there that isn't me, but the art style, it'd be good for pretty much anything but Dr. Fate. And I can't, Dr. Fate being a kid in a hoodie. And I read and enjoyed when Dr. Fate was the two people that was sometimes a girl, sometimes it was girl Dr. Fate, and sometimes it was boy Dr. Fate, and they had the weird demon dog thing, and a face, a pillow that was a face. I made it through all that. Letter 44.
Yeah. Nope.
Here's the thing: if you're lonely in space and you use the alien technology to make a sex doll hologram of one of your crew members, and they walk in, she's gonna be pissed. It's not gonna go well. Also, don't dissect living technology when other living technology is in earshot. This is the sci-fi space opera you need to read. Ivar Time Walker, number 6. Ivar the Time Walker is hysterical. It is so good. It's so good. Bloodshot Reborn is uncomfortably hysterical in parts and tragic in others. Our boy's got to get his nanites back. He doesn't want them, but nobody else can handle him. So basically, it's one of those, I have to keep on the power and be Bloodshot, because anyone else who gets these nanites is just going to become mindless psychopaths and sociopaths. I'm the only one who can handle these so I have to. It's like the my power, my burden kind of deal. Princeless, book 4, Be Yourself. Princess number 1 to the book 4. We finally get a hint of the prince. While our princesses have all gone off in various levels to be their own people and do their own thing, we've still got their brother who, whereas some of these girls were ready to lead, but Dad is a staunch believer of, girls do this, boys do that, this is the way it is. And then he's got this son that wants to, he's got this sword-wielding, dragon-flying daughter, and he's like, you can't be in charge, you're a girl. And he's got this son who's like, I don't want to do that, I want to sew. And he doesn't want, but now they're on the trail of the missing mother. Princess is always a good read. And finally down to trades, we got Abraxas Wren of Eberron. The Eberron world of D&D, I don't know what, it's basically a sort of a pseudo-steampunk D&D setting. But these books, I read these in their individual forms, and I got the trade because I loved it. Abraxas Wren hangs out with his little dwarf partner, what's his name? Torin. And they are basically the, Abraxas Wren is elvish, Torin is obviously a dwarf, and they are basically the steampunk, elvish, dwarven D&D equivalent of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. And I loved all of their stuff, so I got the trade and continue to love it. I think, but I'm not 100% certain, I think these characters actually appear in one or two of the Eberron novels. I just haven't tracked them down to find out yet, because I love these characters, so do something more with them. Gotham Academy, Volume 1. I love Gotham Academy. I review it when it's out. But I've only been reading it for the reviews. I haven't been buying the issues, so I got the trade. This trade takes you right up to, the only thing that's not in here is the issue that came out last week. So you can buy this and be completely caught up. This ends with Bruce signing Damian up, and the next issue is the Damian getting himself expelled issue. So, you have this, you're caught up. This is what, 1 through 6, $14.99. Get it, read. Beautifully illustrated, lots of fun. It's it's like not quite to the it's school, private school in Gotham. It's not quite to the level of what do you call it? What's the book with Ike? Morning Glories.
Morning Glories.
It's more what's that thing my daughter used to watch? House of Anubis. It was a mystical, a school with like a curse and stuff going on. That was basically the like Nickelodeon. What was the series I just said?
House of Anubis?
No, the book, the comic.
Morning Glories.
Yeah, it was basically like the Nickelodeon's Morning Glories, or Disney Channel's Morning Glory. I forget which channel it was on.
Cartoon Network, I think.
And this is that in this is along those lines, but in Gotham, and House of Anubis is clearly designed more just this way down. This, my kid could read this, and so could I. We'd get totally different things out of it. This is just so good. Check it out. All right, that's enough of me talking. That took a lot longer than I wanted to. Peace.